Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Labor's Local 663, Doka Propane, Shelter Insurance, Grant Baker in Aurora, and Great Southern Bank. And we go to Hermann, Missouri, and welcome in the 15-time state champion Hermann volleyball team and Coach Phil Landolt. Coach Landolt, thanks so much for being part of the show today.
You're welcome.
Coach, you finished 31, 5-1 on the season. Kind of put a bow on the season. From your standpoint, did you think it would end at this point with the state championship? And kind of how did it begin? And kind of give us a rundown of the season.
Well, we all hoped it would end with the state championship, and we worked pretty hard through the season. And we kind of knew we could do it once we started our season. We played a really difficult scheduled first part of our season, and we got a couple of our losses there. But once we got into the regular part of our season, we were rolling pretty well. We won a tournament in Lebanon. We finished in the top 8 of a tournament in Illinois, which usually has some nationally ranked teams. And we were playing really well towards the end of the season, and it ended up exactly how we wanted it to end.
You know, as you look at the end of your season, going through districts all on into the Class 2 state tournament, you lose one match in 6, I believe 6, you know, with the 2 district games of 4, you lose one match to a Jefferson Festus team. You guys really are playing well down the stretch.
I think the Jefferson game was one of the best games that we played overall. That Jefferson team was really tough. I know they took one set from us, but I felt like all except for one set, they were very competitive sets, but we were playing really well. And I would hate to have to see that Jefferson team again. They were pretty talented.
Yeah, was that kind of you lose to St. Bridget's Borgia, you get shut out there going into district. Was that kind of a wake-up call as you head into the postseason?
Borgia is traditionally always very strong, and they had a ton of seniors that had been playing since their freshman year. And so we've always battled with them, and we played them really closely right before we started our district play. And I don't think we played badly against them. I thought we played pretty well. Probably some things we could have done different to change the outcome, but I don't think that messed with us at all any.
And you've got 6 of your 7 seniors there alongside, and we'll start down here with Chelsea. Chelsea, tell us a little bit about the position you play and what your roles and responsibilities are on the team.
My position, I played libero, and I was also one of the 3 team captains. I was in charge of playing defense in the left back and just being vocal out in the court and make sure we stuck together through the good times and the bad. So it was exciting, and I'm glad I got to be a part of this special team.
How long have you been playing volleyball, Chelsea?
Since the 4th grade. Yeah, 4th grade. So.
What is something what's maybe your favorite part of it? What brings you back to the gym every day?
Really just the love for the sport. Even when we were younger, we weren't all that talented, but being able to push yourself and being able to achieve things was really something special. And I just fell in love with the game in whole, and I've never lost the love for it.
Chelsea, as you look back at this 2021 season, was there a point at the season where you felt like, hey, we might be able to win a state championship? Was there a match? Was there a game where you kind of thought, I know you finished 31-5, but still, there's got to be at some point you got to start thinking about a state championship.
It was probably the Helias game. We lost the first 2 sets, and they were a pretty good team. And we came back and ended up winning that game. And just the way we rallied and came together, it was just a really exciting game. And I knew we had the ability to carry on for the rest of the season. So that was probably the breaking point for me.
All right, very good. Now you're a senior.
Yeah.
What plans, if any, do you have for next year?
I'm going to attend Central Methodist College, and I'm going to play volleyball there too as well.
And what led to that decision?
I just wasn't ready to give up the sport yet. I love playing defense. I love the atmosphere that volleyball has, and I didn't want to end, so I'm continuing my career there.
All right. Well, hey, Chelsea, on behalf of Missouri Sports Network, congratulations on a state title, and congratulations on a college decision as well.
Thank you.
Introduce the young lady next to you. I believe it's Madison. Tell us a little bit about her.
She's one of our outside hitters. She's a very high vertical. So when she hits the ball, it's pretty spicy sometimes. She's very athletic and just a great overall player to be a teammate.
Madison, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us about your roles and responsibility.
So basically throughout the game, if I got the opportunity to hit on the left side, which was sometimes a little more difficult for me considering I'm only 5'5", but I always got to go in the game to serve and then play a little bit of defense.
Where were you when that final point came down and you were state champion? Were you on the floor? Were you on the bottom of the dog pile? Were you on top of it? Where were you?
Well, I was playing left back at the time. So as soon as we got that last point, I just got smoked from the back and that sent me down to the bottom of the dog pile.
So do you know who ran over you?
It was either Chelsea or McKenna, who's not here, our last senior.
Oh, very nice. Well, we had an opportunity yesterday. We visited with Westminster Christian, and one of the young ladies got ran over there as well. She said she went to take a knee, and before she knew it, she was on her back, and she had no idea who ran her over. By the end of the interview, we figured out who it was. So anyway, what's one part of this season, or maybe your career, that you're not going to forget? What are some things you can look back on that you're going to be able to tell your kids, your grandkids? What are some things you're just not going to forget about this year?
Well, like Chelsea said, that Elias game was pretty cool, but overall, the state championship was the best part of the year for me. I mean, I can say that I went back to serve and I was shaking like this much. I was very nervous. So to have that be the last point was really cool. I'll never forget it.
Very good. Well, Madison, on behalf of the Missouri Sports Network, congratulations on the state title. And what are your plans for next year?
Well, actually, yesterday I verbally committed to William Woods to run track and field. So that's where I'll be next year.
All right. What events? What do you run in particular?
Well, they told me that I would have the 100 spot, so the open 100 meter dash freshman year, and the 4x1, 4x2, and hopefully 200 down the road.
Very nice. What, if I may ask, what particular areas of study are you looking at?
I'm looking to major in social work.
Very nice. Background? You got family there, or?
No, just pretty close to home, and they have an extremely good program for social work.
Outstanding. Well, again, Madison, congratulations. Tell us a little bit about Allie sitting to your right.
Hallie Overcamp is one of our DSs, so she plays a whole lot of defense. She's one of the scrappiest girls I know, and overall, she brings a lot of energy to the team.
Allie, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Tell us from your standpoint, what are your roles and responsibilities?
So like Massa said, I am a defensive specialist. So I play right back and I also serve. My main role is pretty much just to get digs and to bring up the team and keep lots of energy both on the court and whenever I'm on the bench.
All right. What are a couple of moments throughout your career you're not going to forget?
So overall, mainly just getting those digs that maybe when I was younger, I didn't think I could get, but just like pushing to get those, because it's just like a great feeling every time that you get like an amazing dig. And most definitely, like both of them said, the Elias game was an amazing game for all of us and definitely one I won't forget. And then the state championship and the weekend.
What's your favorite part about being part of this group, or is it the relationships that you've built? Is it the sport? What are you going to miss the most, I guess?
Honestly, it's a mix of both. The group of girls that I've played with since 5th grade mean the absolute world to me. And then the sport as well. I love it with my whole heart and I'll never forget it.
So what are your plans, Allie, for next year?
I plan on attending East Central and majoring in radiology.
Wow, radiology. Any background there? You got family in the medical field, or?
Yeah, so my brother is an EMT and my dad and my grandpa are actually part of the fire department. And I absolutely admire how they go out and help people constantly. And I knew I wanted to be a part of that from a young age. So then I just kind of did some research and I've been job shadowing at the hospital and I absolutely love it. So.
Outstanding. Well, Allie, congratulations on behalf of Missouri Sports Network on the state title, and congratulations for your field too, as we look forward to that, always wanting to help. But tell us a little bit about Grace, who's sitting behind you.
Okay, so Grace is one of our middles and she is an outstanding blocker and I love her digs in the back row. So.
All right, Grace, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us and the viewers, listeners, a little bit about what your roles and responsibilities are.
All right, so like Callie said, I am a middle and I'm a middle front and a middle back. So I play all the way around. In the front row, my responsibility is to try and read the ball and block and close the block. That didn't always happen, but I always try to. And I also go up there and swing. And my favorite set was a slide, which my setter did an amazing job at that. In the back row, I was the middle back. And so I had the responsibility of the entire back line. And that was a lot, but I also had my left and right sides to help me out whenever I needed it.
Tell us a little bit, Grace, where were you when the winning point was scored, and what went through your mind? What was that feeling like?
So right before that final point, or right before we served the final point, I looked up at the scoreboard and I realized how close we actually were. And I think a tear started falling. But I cleared it before the point started, and the entire point, I was just like, we got this. And I was up at the net, ready to go. And yeah.
Have folks, talked to you about the history there? I mean, Lady Bearcat Volleyball at Hermann is, when you talk about that, you use that, you say that in the same breath that you talk about Webb City football or Joplin football, or Valley Catholic or something like that. 15 state titles. Have you guys discussed the part of history that you've been a part of? Do you understand that? Is it are people talking about that there in the district, in town? Hey, this was number 15. Nobody else has done this.
Yeah, so I think it's really prevalent to us how historic it is, because a lot of us have had moms, aunts, cousins, also on state championship winning teams. And so I know a few of us, our moms were on the first state championship team. And so it just means a lot to be on this one.
And as you look at this, that moment that you had where the tear comes to your eye, those are things you're just not going to forget. Those at this point are maybe the highlight moments of your life until you get married and you have children and things like that. Right now, that's number one. What are some other things that are going to stand out to you about this season or any previous season? What are some things you're not going to forget?
So when I think about this season, I'm going to remember the bus rides, all the fun we had, and this weekend especially, just growing even closer with all the girls, because it really was a very special weekend, and I'm very glad to have done it with this group of girls.
Very good. I'm sorry. Grace, congratulations. Tell us a little bit about Mallory sitting next to you.
All right, so Mallory, she is a left side hitter, and she is also one of our 3 captains.
and she is very loud and she's always there when we need her.
Mallory, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, tell us a little bit about your roles and responsibilities and what it means to be a captain.
Okay, so like Grace said, I'm an outside hitter. My main job, I only play front row. So my main job is just to get blocks, be as big as possible up there, and also be a big threat when I'm hitting the ball, trying to get kills down the line, which is my favorite shot. So just being very vocal up at the net and kind of letting the defense know what to expect when the ball comes into play.
Where were you when the winning point was scored in the championship game?
I was up at the net with Grace and Sydney. And like Grace said, I didn't really realize it was game point until I looked at Grace. And she just had this face on her. So I just kind of looked at the scoreboard. I'm like, oh crap, we're about to win. Like we're getting close. So that's kind of where I was. And I was also one that was on the bottom of the dog pile. Whenever I got up, it seemed to me like I was almost doing the splits because everybody was just like piling on top of me. But yeah.
So you don't know who ran over you either, do you?
I have no recollection of who who ran over me.
So what are your plans for next year?
I plan to attend Northwest Missouri State University up in the northwest part of the state. It's about 15 minutes away from Iowa. And I plan to either major in animal science or ag law.
Very nice. Mallory, congratulations. Tell us a little bit about Sydney sitting to your left.
Okay, so Sydney, she's got hands sent from heaven. As an outside hitter, I'm very thankful for her. She's our setter, and she has amazing hands. She's really good at being vocal on the court, and she's got a really good eye and volleyball IQ when we're in the game. So,
Sydney, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, tell us a little bit about yourself and where were you when the final point went down for the state championship?
So I was actually on the very bottom of the dog pile. I was actually kind of telling them to get off me because it was kind of hurting my knee because I tore my ACL a couple years ago. So I was kind of worried that was, am I going to break again? But it was fine. We got that all figured out. But my job this year was to run our offense. I was a setter freshman year, and then I was a DS last year and got put setter again this year. So I was a little uneasy coming into this year, but I gained confidence really easily with our coaches. And my job was just to switch it up, make sure that the opponents were on their toes constantly, and adding some dunks in there, here and there, and just overall just running our offense.
I'm pretty sure Sydney scored the last point too.
Yeah, I did.
yeah, she did. Yeah.
They're not going to forget that, are you? Well, what are some moments that stand out to you throughout this season? Everyone has mentioned Elias. Elias has probably got more airtime in this interview than any other interview. But what are some things outside of that are going to stand out to you?
So really in that Festus game, as a setter, you can kind of really tell when your hitters are on. At the beginning of the game, we really weren't connecting well. And by that second set, it was like everything I was setting, everyone was hitting. And it was just like such a cool feeling to know that was kind of the awe moment for me. I was like, I know we're going to win. And it was like I had confidence in each of my players that they're going to give me the balls to set the ball, that if I set my outsides, my middles, my right backs, that they were going to terminate the ball. And that was really the moment I was like, we're going to do it.
Very good. Well, we have a social worker, a radiologist, a veterinarian. What are your plans here as you go forward?
So I want to attend Maryville University and become a physical therapist and specialize in sports. So kind of like all the therapy I went through, I want to help future athletes that way.
Very nice. And a lot of times, you go through that. I went through an ACL injury and several other knee surgeries and thought, man, I'd like to be an athletic trainer or a physical therapist. So a lot of times, the things that happen to us determine what we're going to do. But Sydney, congratulations.
Thank you.
And again, we're visiting with Hermann, Lady Bearcats and volleyball team, 15-time state champion volleyball team, Coach Bill Landolt. And Coach, it had to be a special season. You've got, these are 6 of your 7 seniors, seem to be just, very, very interesting, very talented, very intelligent young ladies. Had to be a ball this season to coach them and they end up with the biggest trophy at the end of the year.
Yeah, they always kept things interesting, and they were always fun to coach because they, as a group, they have a really very good work ethic, and they know the importance of Hermann volleyball. Like I said, they said they have had family members win state championships and cousins and aunts, and they've also been able to be part of or be coached by Coach Lampkin, who I think won the first 13 of our 15 state championships. And I think they love and respect her and the program. And so they were just a great group to take this far.
So where do you go from here? How many returners do you have, and what's if you look at next year?
So we had 14 on our roster at state, and we're losing 7. So we're getting 7 returners back. And who knows what happens. Every season is kind of new. And that's what makes it kind of exciting.
You bet. Well, ladies, I really appreciate you being part of High School Game Day here at the Missouri Sports Network. Coach Landolt, thanks so much for help set this up. And I know I ran a little bit over. You guys have got class coming up here in just a minute or two. Before I get in trouble with the principal, I probably need to let you go. But thank you so much. And again, on behalf of the Missouri Sports Network, congratulations on the state championship.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage right here.